So in this very video we shall be looking at the topic which is area pedonale. So in English when we are talking about area pedonale, so is a particular zone in the middle of the city, which does not permit the access of some particular vehicles. So now, because of time, let us quickly, first and foremost, look at the definitions and take note. By the end of this very lesson, we have some few quiz in relative to this very topic to quickly consider. So now it says l'area pedonale è una zona riservata a transito di pedone. So it says when we are talking about area pedonale, is a particular zone reserved. This reservata simply means reserved. It's more or less the same. So reserved for the transit of pedestrian. Pedone simply means pedestrian. Pedestrian in English, to break it down, we are simply looking at, the movement of normal leg, the movement of leg. So area pedonale, the things that we are trying to state out in this very place is that in this very particular zone, the things that can access this particular zone, the things that are permitted to access this particular zone. Now, number one is what? Is pedone, which is leg. It means area pedonale, this very zone, leg can transit. That is number one thing that can transit. And again it says bicicletta e veicoli ai servizio di persone diversamente abili. It says and another thing that can also transit in this very road, and another part of vehicles that can access this very zone is bicycle. Bicicletta is known as bicycle. And again, veicoli a servizio di persone diversamente abili. When we are talking about veicoli a servizio di persone diversamente abili, we are looking at, these vehicles for the service, vehicles meant for the service of the disabled personnel, the disabled personalities. So that is for that. Number one thing is what? Leg movement is permitted to access area pedonale. Number two is bicycle. And while number three is vehicle for the service of disabled personnel. Take note of that. So let's move further because of time. It says all'interno di un'area pedonale possono circolare anche veicoli in servizio di emergenza. It says in this very zone known as area pedonale, and again another category or set of vehicles that can access it is what is vehicle for the service of emergency. When we are talking about vehicles for the service of emergencies, this is where we have the police vehicle, the vigile di fuoco in English, which is known as a fire brigade, and ambulance, a host of others. These are the only things that are permitted to transit in this very area known as area pedonale. So because of time, we have some few quiz. We have some few questions, over level questions to quickly consider in relative to this very topic. Now, before we answer this question, let me quickly summarize everything that I've explained so far. When we are talking about area pedonale, now this is the symbol. This is known as area pedonale. When any zone that that has this very symbol, It's simply telling you that you can't access it. You cannot drive in this very zone. If you are driving a car, you can't drive in the zone that has this very, this very symbol. So the only thing that is permitted is number one is leg movement. You can see it here. It means you can walk with your leg in that very place. So the movement of pedestrian is permitted. So number two, and another set of vehicles again that can access this very zone is vehicle for the services of for the disabled personalities. So vehicles that they normally use to carry the disabled people, so they can access it. And another one again is vehicles for the services of emergency. These are police. This is where we have like police motor. Police motor, they can drive, they can access any road because they are vehicles for the authorities. So that is for that. Such like the ambulance, like vigile di foco, and a host of others. Now, number one question says, it says nella area pedonale possono transitare i veicoli ed emissione zero elettrici se espressamente consentito. It says vehicles, without electricity, so they can access this very zone, but if only they are permitted, and it's vero. So number two, it says nella area pedonale possono transitare i pedoni. Vero or falso? Now what I will try to talk about here, it says in this area known as area pedonale, it says legs can access this very zone. Leg movement is permitted, which is known as pedestrian movement, is permitted. And it's true, because during our explanation, we said number one is leg, number two is bicycle, number three is vehicles used for the services of for the disabled persons, number four are vehicles for emergency services. So, and above it on number five, so we said that vehicles such as ambulance, vigile de foco, police, all those ones belong to the category of vehicles for emergency services. So this very one is vero because leg movement is permitted. So number three, it says nella area pedonale possono transitare a bicicletta. Vero or falso? Vero, because it says in area of area pedonale, it says bicycles are permitted to access this very zone. So in other words, bicycle can transit, and it's vero. It permits the transition of bicycle. So that is for that. Number four, it says nella area pedonale possono transitare i veicoli a servizio di persone diversamente abili. Vero or falso? Vero. Why? Because it says in area pedonale, it is possible, and the transition of vehicles for the services of disabled personnel is permitted, and is vero. During our explanation, we consider something like that. Number five, it says nella area pedonale possono transitare veicoli della polizia con sirena e luce lampeggiata blu in funzione. Vero or falso? È vero, because it's saying that in area pedonale, it says vehicles, for police, they are permitted to transit, and the answer is vero, because police can access this particular zone. Number six, it says nella area pedonale possono transitare gli autoveicoli the vigili del fuoco. È vero, vigili del fuoco, which is the fire brigade, they can access it, and it's vero. Number 7, it says, nella area pedonale possono transitare tutti i motocicli. Tutti motocicli, take note of this word. And he's saying that in this area pedonale, that motorcycle can transit. Perché diano la precedenza a pedone. Only if we have to give way to the movement of leg. And it's falso. Motorcycles, normal vehicles, they cannot transit. They can't access this very particular, zone. And it's falso. Take note of that. So number 8, it says nella area pedonale possono transitare i trattori stradali con velocità non è superiore a 30 km. And it's falso. And it's simply saying that, in this very zone, vehicles known as tractors used in the road, used in maintenance or construction of roads, with a low velocity, can transit. And it's falso, they cannot transit. So, number 9, it says nella area pedonale ciclomotori possono transitare solo di giorno. So, and it's falso. This simply question simply means in English, says, in this very area that are known as area pedonale, ciclomotore can transit only solo di giorno, only in daytime. And it's falso, whether day or night. It's not permitted. It's only bicycle that is permitted. So, this is the reason why this one is falso. Number 10, it says nella area pedonale possono transitare tutti gli autoveicoli, ma con prudenza. And again, this very one, tutti gli autoveicoli. And it says that in this area pedonale is all vehicles that can transit, but con prudence, with much attention, and it's falso. It's not all vehicles that can transit. We said that, during our explanation, we said that it's not all vehicles that can transit, except vehicles for the services of emergency, vehicles for the services of the disabled personalities, normal leg movement, bicycles, and a host of others. So take note of that. This is the reason why that one is falso. So the last question says, nella area pedonale possono transitare a quadriciclo motore, and it's falso. Quadriciclo motore does not belong to the categories of vehicles for the emergency. So this one is falso. So now let us quickly, look at the questions that we answered to know our outcome. You can see it's 0 error. We have 0 errors. Congratulations to us. Thanks for watching this video.